Hi, Annie. I gotta get my boots on, excuse me. Oh. Hey, folks. Welcome to Mountainside. Well, it's one of these days that, when you raise chickens, one of the things you got to deal with, especially if you hatch your own out, is surplus population. So right now we have a surplus of roosters. And with that, all they're going to do is eat and stress out the hens. We have a bunch of eggs in the incubator already. We have easily 12 roosters back here. So what we did is last night, Amy and I went through as we were tucking them in, getting them ready for bed, and grabbed them and put them in chicken carriers. So today we're going to harvest them. Well, Amy's going to harvest them. I've got other things to do. So, but all we're going to do today is probably take off the wings, skin them, eviscerate them, and then they're going to go into the roaster. And what that's going to be, they're going to be like shredded chicken meat for like chicken and dumplings, chicken tacos, things like that. So, well, she's over there getting ready, so I better grab the side by side and back that over so we can carry them across. So we have Bucky sleeping in the back here. He's not going to be real happy real soon. But we got all of our roosters here. Annie, stay.
Sit. Oh, she's excited.
No. No. We're also the two male ducks. We decided have to go also. Because with only one other female duck and one goose, these boys were just beating them up too bad. So we'll have them processed today too. But all right, time to move over. Oops. Did it just rot?
Yep.
So our deck right there at the evisceration station where we do the culling has started to rot.
I think we can fix it by going like this.
Now, while we're tag teaming on the bird processing, I'm gonna, in these lull times, I'm gonna take the opportunity to try to spread some lime here in the front pasture to see if it helps with some of the growth, because we were getting what I believe is broom sage, and that, from my understanding, indicates an imbalance that requires more lime. So I'm gonna got a bucket and a spreader. I'm gonna start walking and spreading. And I'd like to get it done today because we're supposed to be getting some rain. Not a lot, but some rain, a lot of wind. Wow, what's that setting on? Now this is the spot that the ewes came out of, that they were in while we were getting ready for them to have their babies. Whew. Let me know when you're ready. But I just realized something too. Oh, so I don't know if you're in the shot or not, but this is what I'm worried about, which I believe is broom sage, that when I was told is a lack of what lime provides. But so other than the manure and urine from the ewes, this is actually the first treatment that we're putting down on our pasture of any kind. So sometimes birds switch, you know, like the saying, chicken running around with its head cut off. Well, evidently, while the camera was turned, one of the roosters twitched out of the cone and started flopping around all over the place. So it happens. There's a lot of hill repeats today, but I think it's one of those things that has to get done, right? Just so much stuff going on, just got to keep on moving forward these days. I think this time I'm gonna just kind of go do a hill repeat, down and up. I'm gonna take this out too. This is where the garden's gonna be. You can see all these brown spots here. I don't know if you can see them or not, but it's all the stuff I'm worried about. It's also not the steepest part of the pasture, so that's not too bad. Now I'm trying to keep you all protected from the wind as best as I can today, because I don't need to shatter another screen. But right over here by the lavender was a very heavy patch of that grass. So I hit that really hard with the lime, but there's a few other spots down in that area, and I'm still gonna just kind of work my way down, maybe do some back and forth so the hill repeat isn't quite as bad. But on the edges, there seems to be more of that, you know, where we're expanding the pasture. And hopefully all this spent hay on the ground will help retain any moisture. We ain't been getting any rain, that's for sure. Yeah, you know, that's another thing that's been kind of strange about this season with the winter and coming into spring. You know, in the winter we used to get fog. I mean, we're in a, if I say it right, temperate rainforest. And we have the river, the French Broad River wraps right around us. So we always have fog in the morning. And, you know, in the winter, the peaks usually freeze with rim frost. But there's been no fog this winter, no frost on the tops this winter, and we went from having some mud to being as hard as a rock. I mean, we're so dry right now, you know, extreme fire dangers and all that. But Um, yeah, so even when we're supposed to get rain, we don't get rain. So hopefully all this spent hay will help with moisture. Well, every time I reset that camera, it's like I gotta take some extra time, make sure it's nice and secure so it doesn't fall over. You know, we got this breeze going and we still got the hill and don't want anybody falling over again. Oh, this morning, yeah, we also had the lunar eclipse. Somewhere, what was it, like 2:26 a.m.? Did y'all set an alarm and go out and see it? Amy did. And then she woke me up to see it. But it was pretty neat. You're still able to see it, see the moon, but it definitely was not as bright. You know, when she woke me up, I honestly thought it was too cloudy to see anything because it was actually dark out. And that wasn't because of clouds. That was because of the eclipse. So that was pretty neat to see.
All right, well, I've got all these boys harvested. Now I'm gonna go back and I'm not gonna get out the plucker and the scalder and all that today. What I am gonna do is I'm gonna save the wings. And I'm probably gonna try to save the tails. I've never done that before, but I have saved the wings in the past and did a little taxidermy on them, and it turned out pretty cool. So that is my plan, is to skin them, and then what I'm gonna do with all the rooster meat is just throw it all in a roaster and make some stock and pull all the meat off and probably make dumplings with it. So, all right, now the work starts.
You know, I'm sure you've heard me say before that, you know, I know we're running too many sheep for the size of our pasture, which is why we work so hard on the extensions. But I really don't know another way around that right now because, you know, our breeders, we need to run. The littles, we need to run. Well, we need to run a few, but, you know, we need to run them for, you know, meat and continuation of the flock. So I think this year, you know, we have 13 babies this year, and I know we're gonna sell some and we're gonna keep some, but, you know, 13 babies, that's gonna be a lot just to have in a spot. You know, we're talking about keeping a couple ewes and a couple rams from this year, but without the pasture, that's going to be really hard to do. So I don't know if we're going to be able to do it unless we find another way to run them, you know, another spot even. So, but until then, we're going to keep on taking care of what we have as best as we can and keep everything going. Yeah, we've run into, if you're wondering what that is, we've run into a couple issues with our greenhouse and high tunnel build. So we had to put them on hold, which is also part of the reason we got the grow tent, so we could get things started and growing there. But hopefully I'll be figuring out the at least the greenhouse portion next week. Well, soon. Hit it soon. There you have it, folks. Front pasture all limed, including the overwintered area for the ewes. So feel good about that. I was going to do that later today, but it's done now. Now I can work on what I was planning to do.
All right, this is where I'm at with things. I ended up skinning one of the ducks, but then I decided that I'm going to end up scalding and plucking the rest of the roosters and the other duck. It just was not going as easily as I wanted it to. So, but here I am. I've got all of the tails and the wings off of the birds. So my next step with those is to, see right here, I will put some borax on that, and then I'll take some small nails and then I will put them, hang them up on some of the walls in the barn so that they dry properly, and then in a few weeks, few months, they will be all dried and ready to go. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm just waiting for this water to get hot so I can scald and get the roosters ready for that, and then they'll be getting turned into dumplings here soon. All right, my next steps are to put these wings and tails up on the wall here. I already have these are done. I'll probably take these down and I'll show you them. They've been up here for several months. But I'm gonna take these, put a little borax on the end where their wing is, and then tack them up on the wall so that they can dry and be preserved. All right, I have all the wings and the tails up on the wall, just nailed in with some nails. Those ones right there are the ducks, the rest are the roosters. And this is one that I did a while back. See, it's all dry, ready to go. But all right, come back in a couple months and these will be ready too. All right, this roaster I got at a thrift store for like $15, and it has been amazing. All right, I have, sorry about the steam. 4 of the roosters are in there now. I mean, look at that. Oh, look at that stock. So making bone broth, but I'm also going to be picking off all of the meat and using that to make dumplings. So there's that. And over here, look at that layer. These are the 2 ducks that are in here, and I will be doing the same thing with this. I will be cording up the stock and then taking all the meat off the bones and cutting up the meat and probably making it into duck pot pies, because that's really yummy.